right in the end, I'll ask him.
Okay.
And now give me the time
To narrate the entire thing. Yes, sir. You definitely. You must do that.
It's a great learning, sir. For everybody, it's a great learning from different aspects of our stories.
Where are you located?
I'm located in Mao at the moment.
Oh, okay, sir.
Where are you located?
Here, Pune, sir. Pune.
Acha, Pune. I was under the pressure near Kochi.
I actually, we shifted to Pune in 1965, sir. My father was in the army. He was a doctor in the army. So he passed away in 64. And then we moved.
Generally, I'll say 70% of the armed forces are the people from the armed forces only.
Armed forces only, yes.
Like I ask I keep on asking my grandchildren. I asked my grandson. I said, "What do you?" He said, "I want to be like my father." I said, "But don't you want to be like your
grandfather?"
He said, "No, I want to be in the army."
Army, okay.
And now my son is now in civil aviation.
Civil aviation.
So I said, now you tell me, would you like to join Air Force or you want to still go in the army? He said, first I'll go in the army and then I'll tell you.
First love is army.
You see, generally what happens is, children, they always look at their father.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
And they formulate some picture. So these are our personal things. I will not take. It's a beautiful narration of your crossing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Just tell me one thing. When you were going from A to B, from Tabua and all those areas which you have shown,
yes.
You said the small arm fire was there and you were flying 50 to 100 feet all along. In formation, when you were going to Cmde Ram during just before salient operation, and you used to go in 3 aircraft at a time in formation.
Yes, sir. It was a loose formation.
2 aircraft behind you.
Sorry, sir. First, the lead aircraft was in front, and the other 2 on the side, sir. It was like an arrowhead formation.
Arrowhead formation. Were you used to keep your wingtip lights on? Nav lights?
No, sir. Only the rotor tip lights were on.
Okay. That's all.
So that actually gives a good. The rotor tip when it rotates and you are slightly above the aircraft, you can see all 3 aircraft. I mean, all the other 2 aircraft comfortable.
You see, I have done a lot of Me-4 flying with RPS, late RPS Dylan.
Okay, sir. At Hashimara.
Call Me-4. He was master on Me-4.
Yes, sir.
And
he was my guru only.
I called Me-4 Stallion.
Stallion, okay.
And Stallion was so strong. He said there is no problem in this aircraft is so beautiful.
Yes, no, I didn't mention it in my talk, but the Me-4 amongst the aircraft that I've flown now, after that I flew Me-8 and Me-17 and Me-35 and all that, but the Me-4 was a real rugged aircraft, very rugged. You could throw it from any height. In fact, RPS Dylan flew one Me-4 after they touched the rotor tips, with half the rotor gone. In Hashimara, so this happened in a formation.
I think it happened around 69, if I am not mistaken.
Yes, sir. 69, correct. 69.
I was in 7th Squadron at that time in Bagdogra.
Bagdogra, okay. It happened that time. It happened over there. The other aircraft got written off, so they crashed. The one which touched his aircraft, that crashed, and his aircraft with half a rotor, he landed safely without any problem.
God willing, if we meet, I will tell you lot of other things.
Okay. Right, sir.
Yeah, we will definitely meet, sir. We'll have a great get together. No, once this COVID thing goes away, definitely
Okay.
all our head warriors group people will meet together in one place, sir.
Okay, great.
Okay. So
So,
Thank you.
thank you very much, TBR, and thank you, Sridharan.
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Welcome,
Thank you,
quarter
sir.
of Veer Chakra, sir. So now, sir, Patek, sir. Yeah, I think we have group captain Gohen, sir, is also called, sir. Group captain Gohen, sir.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, good evening. It was a wonderful talk, and I was definitely very enlightened. Though I read the whole operations of the Meghna crossing written by Wayne.
Okay. Oh, you read that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because he has asked me to make it turn into a painting.
Oh, okay. Acha, okay.
So,
that's how you.
and you see, because of my interest in paintings of 71 and earlier I done 65. So I have done the studies of both theatres, that is Western theatre and Eastern theatre. And being a fighter pilot, obviously I was thought that fighters did a very good job. Not that I didn't do.
No. We could fight the war because the fighters had already cleared the way for us.
Yes, but as I'm reading, my knowledge is including what Brigadier Apte said about the army part.
Yes.
I'm absolutely in awe of the kind of operations you guys. That is the operation actually, and now I think which hastened the surrender.
Yes.
I mean, things like attack on government house by MiG-21s and this is okay. That did their part. But carrying the troops to the across the helicopter, which had a capacity of 10, and finally ending up carrying 12,000 troops across the leg, it is amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely, I think. And I really thank you. We are really enlightened by your talk and earlier Krishnamurti shirts.
Thank you.
Of course, the now ground part given by Brigadier Apte. Thank you so much. And I'm really very nice. And,
thank you. No, I must compliment you for your fantastic paintings. I mean, I'm just nobody to say that I'm not a. I'm
really
not an
praying
artist,
that
really fantastic.
Thank you, sir. I'm really praying that the one on Meghna, the HSPO, which I'm trying to create, comes out well. I've been doing it for the last few months. But that's a different thing. That's only recreation. But that's what you achieved is on ground.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Very enlightening talk, and I also thank you, Director Patak and KBR for organizing this webinar. And I wish you all the best. And thank you so much once again.
So kind of you, sir. So kind of you. And we're always all the time getting inspired by the paintings. Creative paintings. It's really great.
They are all masterpieces, really.
Yeah. We can't find anywhere else other than here.
Nobody does anything about our Air Force paintings, you know.
We're all so fortunate to get the glimpse of your paintings, sir, in fact.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you, I have just finished one painting on flying house of Masan become shooting down. I've just finished it. I'm just sharing it with him. With his permission, probably next time I'll share it with you.
Oh, great.
Fantastic.
Where are you located?
So I'm at Guwahati.
Oh, Guwahati. Okay.
And I heard the name of Dibrugarh you mentioned the last station. I'm from there actually.
No, I spent 2.5 years in Guwahati.
Yeah.
And later on, I commanded Jorat also, you know. And I was there for 2.5 years in Jorat also.
Oh, yes. Jorat. I was born in Jorat.
You were born in Jorat. Okay.
Very close to the airport.
Okay.
Jail Road.
Jail Road. Right. Yeah, very familiar with Jorat. 2.5 years I knew inside
nice
out of Jorat.
Really nice knowing it.
Yeah, wonderful place. Actually, I just love the East. And I have 4 postings in the East, Cmde Ram, Guwahati, Jorat and Chhabua. So,
Yes,
it's about almost 10 years, more than 10 years.
wonderful.
I can be called a citizen of Assam. If you permit.
Definitely. We'll be proud of it.
Yeah, really great. Great talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, so nice. Group can go in, sir, for your
Thank you.
interactions and particularly for your paintings. We are eagerly looking forward to seeing our Masan sir's paintings also. I mean, his action in your paintings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, we have our develop Patek, sir.
Okay, Mr. Patak, now. Shoot the questions.
Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. And I must thank Goen sir to start with. He has allowed me to use one of his paintings. He has given me options to use his painting for my book cover.
Okay.
I am very, very thankful to him. And about Sridharan sir, he was one of the first few officers whom I contacted when I had in mind to write something about 71 war. So initially what he gave me a lot of help. Every time I was contacting him and he was giving me some positive
Inputs.
Network problem.
Your sound is gone off.
Yeah. So, maybe some. Yeah, Naidigar, I think you are there in that sector also, Eastern sector, even 71 war.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, sir.
It is very nice listening to both Army and Air Force people together. It encourages, it inspires a lot because it is a narration of 2 different topics brought in front of us. It's very nice, and I am very happy that the helicopter pilots who have worked in the Eastern sector are really blessed. It is a lifetime enjoyment for them. You don't feel any risk moving in those terrible parts because of the nature. I congratulate everybody, and really it is a very nice of Mr. Patak and Mr. TBR to get this assembled together. I think it is going to make a very great picture when you all will come to Tirupati for a get-together of all to celebrate.
Yeah. We have a dream of meeting together, all to meeting together.
It is. Though it is beyond my capacity as an air warrior, I feel we can achieve anything. There is nothing short. We can do it.
Absolutely.
I thank you very much, sir. Today, unfortunately, my video is not functioning, but thank you very much. Thank you, TBR.
Yeah.
Thank you, TBR and others.
He became assistant commissioner of income tax in civil side, sir. IRS.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, he's a great achiever.
He's at Tirupati, is it?
Yeah, Tirupati.
Yes,
no, he was to conduct the program because of the COVID. We had to postpone it.
Okay.
So he has come up with a proposal sponsoring the entire program.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that remains. That is there, sir. So it's all our dream. We'll definitely meet and share all our stories once again.
Fortunately, I am working as a vice president of a very great cultural organization which was established during 1984 by Sri N.T. Ramarao, and we had all our TTUOs and collectors as patrons of that organization. So with that confidence, I undertook to celebrate this function in a great manner. I think as it is coming up day to day, I think my responsibility is increasing, and I think we can definitely achieve. No problem.
Yeah, definitely we'll meet, sir. It may take some time. Definitely we'll plan and meet.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
sir. Unstoppable, sir, and you will do it, sir. Naidu Garu, you will do it, and you are unstoppable with PBR.
Thank you.
Unstoppable, yes.
Thank you.
One more unstoppable. Huh?
Yeah. Patek, sir, I think you have come. I think speech is okay. You can speak, sir. Yeah.
Sorry, there was some net problem.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
why
sir.
I think.
Yeah.
Now am I audible now?
Yeah, audible, sir. Audible, sir.
Yeah, audible.
Loud and
So
clear.
what I am doing, usually we started in one meeting, but with the kind cooperation like our Sridharan sir, he kept on giving me the names. I kept on calling the people, and to my surprise, whomsoever I asked, they all readily agreed and cooperated. So with the help of PBR, then we thought, why not weekly. So we started weekly sessions. First it was monthly, first 1 or 2 months, then it became weekly. After weekly now weekly.
Bi-weekly
There are
also.
so many
Bi-weekly.
Now twice a week. Now the time has come when people are so many and our time is now less. This guy is going to continue up to month of December only. So I think for celebrities, we may have to have 2 sessions in a week. So it may be every alternate day.
Yeah, no, we are ready, sir. We are ready.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I will give you input. So many people are there. My sincere thanks to Sridharan sir, because in the initial stage he supported me very, very well. I was calling him and disturbing him every now and then, but he was so cordial and he helped me a lot. And that is why our group could achieve something. We are quite a good group now, and we have got a lot of webinars done.
Yes.
So I must express my gratitude to Sridharan sir.
No, not at all. I am very happy that yes. No, I'm very, very glad that you both have been able to put up such a wonderful show. I mean, week after week, every day it's getting better, and more participation. And by the time I think December comes, you would have covered every aspect of this 71 war.
Yes,
in different, with different speakers and different experiences, which is really very good. And it's enlightening a lot of people, especially amongst the airmen who I'm sure didn't know a lot of these facts. I'm not blaming them, but they wouldn't have even known from what source would they have got this information.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, it's a fact. We are now enriching so much because of the experiences shared by you all. So we would have never learned all these things, even in the books.
Now that you have learned this, you should spread it.
That's what I've been doing. In fact, I've been
spread
doing
it to others also, because this is some, this history, which is in Air Force, it is very badly managed. Now things are improving, but in our times, nobody bothered about history. We were just told that that form 1500 is there. That was the only form of history which was there. But today, everyone's writing the history, So,
but sir, in this regard, I would like to ask you, we have had an amazing, heliborne operations, be it Sylhet or on the Magna crossing. So, has it been recorded in the Air Force as a kind of guidance to the younger generations anywhere?
No, they have recorded it, but very scantily it is done. There are 2 books. I actually helped that person to write about that. One Wing Commander has written one, and another one Air Commodore has written. Air Commodore Easer has written. Both are on behalf of the Air Force, and they have written not just covering that. It's a book covering entire helicopter operations in the Air Force, which is a great treasure of knowledge.
It's a great treasure of knowledge. Taking experience from the people like you and Krishnamurthy sir and others. So anyway,
now they are doing it, because this Wing Commander Nijjar, he's there and he's retired. He's outside, but he's written 2 books, and one of those books he's taken a lot of material from me. He was, of course, not even in the Air Force.
Out of interest,
but out of interest, he was very keen on that. And then there is another group captain, what was his name? I forget his name. He's taken, and this Air Commodore Easer, he was AOC Leh and all. He is also a helicopter pilot. And he has also written a book about Air Force operations, in which there is a mention of this 71 war, but it is not.
I think it must find a place in the syllabus of all the helicopter pilots.
Yes, exactly.
So that they can learn a lot, sir. I feel.
Yeah, it should be taught, in helicopter training school and all, because these are things. Because today what they are doing is very, very sophisticated, and I'm not saying that what we did was
the experience, the past experience gained that can be made.
That experience will definitely help in today, adapting to whatever they have got today.
Yes, sir.
So that now the equipment is better, the heliborne operations which they do, they have attack helicopter as cover. We didn't have any attack helicopter covering us. So when when I was commanding a unit, I did heliborne operations when I commanded in Udhampur. So every year we used to have exercise, and we used to do the exercise along with attack helicopters. So the troops were landed after they're supposed to simulate an attack on the ground forces, the attack helicopters. So that was Mi-35.
Okay, thank you,
so
sir.
Similarly, in Sri Lanka also it was like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think you also participated in Kargil war,
yes,
in Sri Lanka war. So we have a lot of other stories to be learned from you. And again, Balinga sir.
Audible?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. It's really excellent joint venture or joint war strategy by Indian Army and Indian Air Force, such as the initially the fighter pilots who played excellent role in mobbing and the Eastern Pakistan and demoralizing the Pakistan Air Force as well as Army.
Correct.
That further led, that is a Herculean task by the helicopter, by transporting the troops, taking a heavy amount of risk, crossing the Meghna River. That led in Army to move forward, and this entire joint operation remained succeeded, and lastly we gained the victory on 16 December.
Correct.
It's a really lot learning from these all joint war strategies by Army and Indian Air Force. Hats off to you all, sir. And particularly, I must say about the Flying Officer Sharma, who was monitoring your landing.
Yes.
Across the Meghna River.
Yeah.
Because his monitoring was very, very important, whereby you all could land with the troops safely.
Yes.
Yeah. That is the most. He was monitoring that. And also you had an excellent leadership, that is Group Captain Chandan Si.
Yes.
The Rekhi and the decisions.
Yes. And he was a very dynamic person, no doubt.
Yeah. So these all we learned today. We never knew about all these. So today we learn these all. And really we got enlightened with this. Sir, on 16th December evening, you celebrated victory on tarmac.
Yes.
Correct?
On the tarmac, correct. Yes, you're right.
Sir, it is not only you, but entire country celebrated victory.
Yes, victory day it was.
It was a real victory day. And our target was very clear to liberate the Eastern Pakistan. Which we gained that, because time was playing very important role. As it was mentioned, that Bhutto wanted to see that somehow have surrender. So that time played an important role by all your Army and Air Force, and hats off to you all, sir. And then we would love to listen your further journey next time.
Oh, sure.
Next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Balinga sir, Ramesh Babu sir. Okay.
Sir, pranam sir, Sridharan sir, and all officers, all my brothers. I extend first of all sorry for joining late. As the pilot cannot fly without the excellent technician support, same way the army also, the tank cannot go without the excellent support of the technicians in the army. In the same way, this webinar also cannot go with the support of each one of us, and our pilots are TBR and Patak sir and Sakpal sir.
Sir, Sridharan sir, please unmute sir. You're gone unmute. Sridharan sir, please unmute.
Sridharan sir.
Sridharan
sir, I met you before 3-4 meetings, and I was anxiously waiting to listen to you, but unfortunately I slept and I missed you, sir.
Okay.
So I'm very, sorry.
I'll be coming again.
I'm waiting for the this thing to be loaded on the.
Recording will come as it is. Again, one more session is there.
You can see the recording.
So,
and anyway, I'll be speaking again. So
okay, sir. I will surely joining. And Dev sir is not there, sir. And whenever I see Brigadier Apte sir,
no, Dev sir is also there.
जो दुगना हो जाता है आपटे सर को देख करके, उनका smiling face ever is in front of all of us, and he always rather encourages us.
He is a great storyteller, sir. The way he explains, really.
And I am extremely eagerly waiting to see some of our paintings by Group Captain Dev sir.
Paintings, yeah.
So please, his video is off, so my request should reach to him, and as soon as possible we must.
He has already promised. He already told us that he is going to give us the Masan sir's action photograph.
Okay, sir. So kind of
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All our stalwarts, I really express my sincere gratitude to you.
Thank you.
Pray for the long life. Nurul Amin Sahab. Then Bhavani Shankar Sharma ji.
Right, sir. Okay, last time we missed Muttu, sir, if you would like to speak to. I remember we lost you last time.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, and thank you so very much, sir. So very interesting. And I have an attachment with helicopter unit being posted in Chabwa ALG in my 13th year service. Till that time, I have not boarded any aircraft. First time boarding in Me-17 was a thrilling experience, going to Pasigat, Hailong, Walong, Teju.
Hailong, okay. You were there only. You were in Walong or Teju?
I was in base, sir. I'm equipment assistant, logistics.
So I used to go
dropping off food, and I voluntarily used to go and stay in the decks at Pasigat. And I happened to visit even Anani, which is very peak. You might have heard about Anani.
Yes, I've landed many times in Anani.
Yeah, maximum Malayalis are settled off there as in big posts.
LDMC. That I didn't know. There are so many Malayalis there. Okay.
Yeah, Malayalis maximum, and all married the
locals.
Assamese there. They are all settled there. I happened to meet. Yes, sir. In Anani, I met a few of the.
Which year were you in Chabwa?
I was in 91, sir.
91.
That was my 13th year of service. 91.
91. Okay.
91.
91. I was in Udhampur.
I had two experience in Chabwa, sir. Being a sergeant, enjoying SNCMS and enjoying going in flights. And later I got a cross-country flight up to Bangalore, and that was the degree. Later there was heavy hours of boarding and going. You all were flying, we used to boarding. Nice experience of helicopter unit, sir. I really
thank you, Muthu sir. Thank you. And we have other, I think 3-4 members. Bhavani Shankar sir, and we have Nurul Amin and Rajendra sir. And closing with Subhash Chandra Bose.
May I come in, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. I am Water B.A. Sharma from Jaipur.
Okay.
Air Commander sir has just refreshed my memories of Cmde Ram, Pathankot, as well as Guwahati. And actually, I am also flight engineer. I have not flown with you. No, I never had a chance. I am 77 to 98.
98.
I think
and you were in which units were you in? Which all units?
Sir, I was in Cmde Ram 110.
Oh, 110. Okay.
Then
after
I
had left.
I came in 92, 93. 93, 96 I was there in Cmde Ram. 96 to 98 in Jamnagar. Before that I was from 86 to 92 in Pathankot, Me-25 35s.
Oh, Me-35.
Yes. When you came to Me-35, sir?
No, Me-35, I only flown Me-35. I was not posted in Me-35.
You were not posted in it.
I have flown in many exercises. I flew in Me-35, you know. 125 squadron only, same one.
Yes, I was in 125 only.
Yes, that time I think Wing Commander Ranawat was commanding.
Ranawat, sir. He is from Jaipur only.
He was with me in Comp Squadron.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Sharma sir.
Okay.
Yeah, Jayabla Nurul sir.
Good evening to all, sir. I am Jayabla Amin, radio fitter from Kanyakumari.
Kanyakumari, wow.
Yes, sir.
So we have people across the our country, sir, not only one.
All across the country, yeah. From Jaipur.
Great salute to you, sir. Welcome to sir for your building helicopter mission during 71 operation. No, just I have a doubt that during your helicopter mission, was there any hostility attack from the Pakistan Air Force, as well as was there any international pressure from UN to curtail the operation? Yes.
No, that actually we did not come to know of that. That, as you heard Brigadier Apte saying, that this was a thing floated in the air, that there is pressure from United Nations to stop the war, and at that point of time when we were well inside Bangladesh, East Pakistan that time. But I think that didn't really work out, that international pressure which was there. United Nations actually has not really made its presence anywhere in this region, even in Kashmir, even now in Bangladesh also. I mean, that time East Pakistan, when so much of, what should I say, harassment and killings and all were going on. Atrocities were there. They did not intervene at all, which I don't know that that was a right or wrong, I can't really say.
So was there any hostility attack from the Pakistan Air Force when you were doing that?
Any hostage?
Atrocities from Pakistan Air Force.
Actually, see, I can tell you this much. When we had gone to Dhaka, I stayed in the officers' mess in Dhaka. When I was during the war. I mean, not during, just after the war. We were running a detachment. Actually, I operated quite a lot in Bangladesh, in Dhaka as well as Cox's Bazar. There is a place called Cox's Bazar, which is right on the coast, south of Chittagong. There's a beautiful beach. That beach is the longest in the world. So when we were in Dhaka, we were talking to the some of the staff who were working in the officers' mess there. And they said, that the Pakistanis were so bad to them that they wouldn't allow them to even lift their head. They used to kick them, that kind of a thing. They didn't like to see, talk to them eye to eye.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that they were very harsh kind of people. Those most of them were like Pathans and people from West Pakistan. And they used to treat these Bengalis as if like slaves only. So, and that's why they wanted to keep them under control.
So you had a good support from the civilian also, that means.
Yeah, that was from a civilian that I got this report. And we saw a lot of, very bad scenes of.
I think Mukti Bahini was only floated out of all these atrocities.
Yeah, that is how Mukti Bahini came up, because they wanted to rebel against the Pakistanis. Yes. And that's how they came and joined us.
Okay. Thank you, Nurul Amin, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And we have anybody else, sir, before we go for our post? Yes, sir. Subhash Chandra Bhoskar.
Good evening, sir. I heard your experience and sharing. It is very good and very nice. But I want to bring 2 points which I have observed while you were talking, and Commander Krishnamurthy sir was saying about the capabilities of the equipments, rather the helicopters. The first thing is, sir, your first thing which you said about the blue book. Sir, what is the difference between the blue book and the blue sky reports or the data information? Anything?
Blue sky?
Blue sky.
Oh, that is our Air Force blue sky.
Yeah. Yes, for blue sky.
That is a report that everything is normal in Air Force Station, and that goes to command and then further to air headquarters. But this blue book is it's a civilian document, and in that document there are all procedures, how to conduct functions, how to prepare helipads, what are the requirements of the Air Force, what are the requirements, for stay, for operating. All that is laid down, and that is available with the district collector of the state. And he passes it on to all the people. Like, suppose VVIP was coming to your hometown, they know exactly what all has to be done. Before the VVIP comes, what all requirements are there. Those are very basics, but they have to meet that. So certain security requirements, certain safety requirements, all that what safety, helipad safety team has to be there. All those things are.
So more or less a civil operation guidelines for the passengers point.
Correct. No, not
right,
only
sir.
for passengers. For
passengers means VIPs, whoever it is, they are a passenger when technically.
Correct. That's right.
Right, sir. Now the second point, which was mentioning about the overloading of the helicopter.
Yeah.
So overloading of the helicopter with the weight, ultimately it's a men or luggage or whatever it is a weight. So sir, one thing is that in the world, when there's something is manufactured, the similar range of the, or any products, generally
it has limitations.
Not only that, sir. It is having a commercial grade of the products and the professional grade and the defense or military grade and the space grade. So when we are giving operating of, let it be Russians or Americans or Israelis or whoever it is, when it is coming under the defense grade or a military grade of the component or the usage of the equipment, ultimately, it will be definitely having a 30 to 40% of the higher capacity than the rated capacity. So this is the one of the main reasons.
Very right. Yeah,
this is one of the main reason.
Thing, what you're saying.
Yeah, so built-in thing. Yeah. So thereby the overloading around 40% of the weight into the aircraft is allowed as a defense grade of the product. That's
absolutely.
what
that's what when Krishnamurthy was saying that, I told him that there's something known as calculated risk. So
this is the defense grade.
And see, another thing I must tell you, since you brought out this point, see, the Russians, whatever equipment they have given us, because Mi-4 was the first helicopter which they gave us.
Right.
So in that Russian thing, they have not given this helicopter to any other country at that time, in the 60s,
Yeah.
So whatever was the specifications which they laid down, they had, and they did not test that equipment because Russia doesn't have high altitude, So it was not ever tested in high altitude. It was not tested in high temperatures because there also temperatures are low. So the performance of the Mi-4, the margin of safety, because they didn't want to, give a bad reputation to their machine. So they had kept a very wide margin of safety.
Roughly about 40 to 40% they have kept
it. We operated through our skills and experience. We found out that there is a hell of a lot of, like you rightly said in the beginning, that 30 to 40%, that was sometimes even more. That's why almost double. There were times when we carried double the capacity which was laid down by the manufacturer.
Right, sir. So because that grade itself defines that.
Yeah,
the grade itself defines that.
Yeah, quite true. Very correct.
In fact, I was about 8 years screened by Air Headquarters to support the Director General of Ground Radars for all the Indian Air Force. I was the back-end support for Air Force for radars and operations and other aspects. As I was screened only for this purpose. As a AC, I was screened as about 8 years. I lived in Delhi only to support the Vai Bhavan. So that's why I know all these factors of the defense factors, irrespective of the materials as well as the airborne flights. Generally it stands for military grade itself. Thank you, sir.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Subhash Chandra Bose.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And anybody else, sir?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, this blue book is something else, which is our blue book, individual blue book.
No, that blue book, those are, in which the pilot's blue book is in which every sortie is, analyzed by the instructor or by the flight commander or by the CO. That is a different thing. That's got nothing to do with this blue book.
So,
yes,
sir. Air Force
PBR, sir, you know that without my second entry, the BVR is not complete. You know this. So I'm sorry to disturb you again. Since the celebration was conducted in the tarmac in 1971, so I would like to inform Sridharan sir that we celebrated your victory in our school. I was in 8th standard, sir.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
And another victory we have to celebrate of Neeraj Chopra. So that yesterday's goal, that is to be celebrated. Very important.
I must tell you, it has been my dream, that to see one Indian standing on the podium with gold medal around his neck and playing the Indian national anthem, Fantastic it was.
So out of 136 crore population, Only one man from army, our forces. He he kept our izzat.
Yes,
because the defense is unstoppable. As TBR is unstoppable, in the same way,
so all air warriors are unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yes.
So now today is our Air Commander Sridharan sir's turn. So he has proved himself to be unstoppable in his journey.
No, that name is only yours. It is your.
Yeah, I think now. Sir, I must be thankful to our Air Commander Sridharan sir. He is the only first officer to buy my book on his own. So thank you so much, sir.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Not at all.
And it's a great journey for us, a learning story as you have narrated. Really inspiring, enlightening, and sometimes it is incredible the way the operations were carried out, and all with 100% success. Without any other negative factors from our side.
No casualties at all.
Yeah, casualties, sir. It's a great thing. So we all salute you once again for your bravery, display of bravery, devotion to duty, and you and our Vinkavat Krishnamurthy sir also for that great sellout and Magna Crossing episodes, particularly apart from other things. So thank you so much, sir. We look forward to your another episode. Shortly, we will let us know our friends. So thank you so much. God bless you and all your family also. And I would like to remind
thank you, Mr. Pathak. Thank you very much.
So I'd like to remind all our warriors on the call also. So our Sridhar sir daughter prepared a great video about his journey with the help of photographs. So that also I am going to show you in the next call. So let us enjoy the journey and get inspired by his journey, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Good night.
Okay. Thank you, TVR. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Pathak.
So I thank all our Brigadier Apte, sir. Wing Commander Quatra, sir. Wing Commander our Krishnamurthy, sir.
Okay.
Then we have Group Captain Goen, sir, and Group Captain Das, sir. And all other our air warriors for supporting this program to run unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, good day.
Otherwise, without your support, then it's not possible for me and my Pathak sir to go ahead. So, so we are really fortunate to get it.
I can promise you that I will continue to support whatever venture you are going to do in this respect.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Great sponsorship, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for all your love, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic platform for everybody to join.
Okay, sir. All of this. Bhavani Shankar, sir. Adis Apte, sir. Again, Krupyan Govind, sir. Manik. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night to all of you.
Good night.
And sir, on Wednesday webinar, we are going to have another Professor Dr. I.C. Gupta from Indore, sir. Next Wednesday.
Okay.
So
Wednesday,
he has become
6 o'clock, is it?
Yes, 6 o'clock, sir. Always 6 o'clock, unless the speaker has some issues, it remains 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.